Mic check, it's time for In the Trenches. Bucs battles, tales from the benches. No fluff, straight edge defenses. Buccaneer talk, breaking down the fences. Stay tuned, the orgasms in your dome. Talk straight from tech, but call it home. Learn from the vets, been there, done that.
Hello everybody and welcome back to In the Trenches, powered by Manny and Gordon. Now, that was a lot of fun yesterday, watching our Buccaneers get it done at home. First game of the season, they win 37-20 against Washington. You have to take every game with a grain of salt, especially the first week. All right, there's 32 teams playing. There's 32 cities overreacting today, 100%. What's going to happen is half of the games, or half of the teams that lost yesterday are going to make the playoffs, and half of the teams that won yesterday are going to make the playoffs. That's what happens. The one game is not to make your season. And I hope you know, as a Buccaneer fan, beating Washington at home with the rookie quarterback and minimal talent on the offensive side, it's going to get harder than that. And it's going to get harder than that real quick. That being said, in the NFL, if you win by 17 points, period, you got something done. So if you're a Buccaneer fan, you got to feel good about what happened out there. You know, when you talk about Todd Bowles, I've been a Todd Bowles fan the whole time. Everybody wants these flashy, named coaches. I just kind of look to see the way the players play for Todd Bowles, and they played for the man. It's 4 straight season opener wins. I believe it's 4 straight years, maybe 5 in the playoffs. That's at least 4. What else are you expecting? So, as Buccaneer fans, we want to know, and looking at this schedule, and I hate to go down the schedule, the next game, the Lions, mess around and win that game and see what kind of stretch you're going to have. Because the Lions that's a pretty damn good football team. Now, to beat the Lions, you have to play better than you played against Washington, that is for sure. Now, before that game, before the season, if you go back to the In the Trenches in the past, I made a couple predictions. One of my predictions was going to be that Chris Godwin's going to have a huge year. And the reason why is from what you saw yesterday. He's perfect for in the slot. And also, Chris Godwin came off of an injury last year, an ACL. Nobody comes back your first year after an ACL and really balls out. He's 2 years now. His leg's stronger. He's running routes like a champion. Chris Godwin, if he stays healthy, is going to have a great year for me. I'm going to stop saying Mike Evans is going to fall off. I'm going to stop saying it. I've been saying it 6 straight years. I'm done with it. I saw a route he ran earlier. Early in the game, he looked like he was 15 years old running the route. The touchdown he caught, he wasn't open. He wasn't open. He's just a competitor, and probably the best competitor the Buccaneers have ever had. So, I mean, his route running is still fantastic, okay? So, and I don't know how old he is, but he's pretty damn old. He's starting to look old off the field. On the field, he still looks like Mike Evans, an amazing football player. Most of what I saw yesterday was positive, okay? Most of it. JTS got a sack. Joe Tryon-Tryanka, got a sack. Within 2 minutes, I got texts from 3 different people, one being Derek Brooks. Young man got a sack. Okay, so listen, you're going to applaud a young man getting a sack, but I'm as consistent as they come. You will not get praise from me as a rusher until you run through somebody. Anybody can get a sack running the hump. That means running outside, and the quarterback being flushed into him. If nothing was happening on the inside, the quarterback would have stepped up and he'd been fine. I'm not taking the sack away from JTS. That's his sack. But right after Derek Brooks texted me, look at the sack. I said, did you see the touchdown? He goes, yeah, I saw it. Go back and watch the touchdown that Washington runs and go see what Joe Tryon-Tryanka does. There's sometimes, he is my new Gerald McCoy. He's my new Barrett Ruud. He's my new Gaines Adams. I always have one guy that I pick on, and it's Joe Tryon-Tryanka. And it's not because it's personal. He just can't play football. He's not a football player. Sometimes I go watch him on this play, and sometimes he just doesn't look like he understands where he's at or what sport he's playing. He looks a lot like some of our Chamberlain linemen who played last Friday. Chamberlain was 2-0. We ain't 2-0 no more. We ran into a buzzsaw, and the boys are still licking their wounds. Within 51-13. Yeah, Cardinal Mooney, good for you. Yeah, their left tackle is already committed to Alabama. He's 6'7", 350. Marquise, my defensive tackle, he's a sophomore. He's 5'11", 230. It wasn't a great matchup. So we don't run into that anymore, so we can move forward. But like I said, we are licking our wounds. But the name of this podcast, In the Trenches, and the Buccaneers won in the trenches yesterday on both sides of the ball. Now, wasn't all rosy. And this is what I told my team after being 2-0. Don't rest on your laurels now, because there's a lot of things I saw in between that game, in between, the hash marks that weren't great at times. Cody Mauch, and I brought him up last podcast, I think he said, I think Pro Football Focus had him rated the worst out of all the guards in the run game. He didn't look good in the pass game either yesterday. I mean, he still, I think I improved 40% from my rookie year to my second year. So Cody Mauch, you got to start doing some improving now, brother, because he stuck out as struggling on Sunday. You're not a rookie anymore. Time to put your big boy pants on. JTS on the one touchdown that Washington had. If you watch the Dallas Cowboys, I hate to compare JTS to Micah Parsons, but they play the same position, and they were both high draft picks. Run that play to Micah Parsons, see what he does. Micah Parsons lowers his shoulder, he blows up whatever the hell's pulling at him, and he disrupts the play. Joe Tryon-Tranka stood, looked, took a couple pity pats, and he ran outside. They ran right inside of him. That didn't look like no Buccaneer team at the end of no 90s or in 2000s. They didn't play like that. So if you think you're going to do that and win championships, it's not going to happen, okay? So let's be honest with that. So most of it looked good. Some of it has to improve. You love to see Mike Evans being great. I thought McMillan had a good game. The first drive, you gotta make that catch. You have to make that catch. Baker Mayfield, I said on the last podcast, I'll be happy if Baker Mayfield plays the same. Baker Mayfield looked as good as any other quarterback in the entire NFL yesterday, in the whole league. And I'm not omitting anybody. Baker Mayfield is he's making his offensive line look better. He's making his receivers look better. His receivers didn't really, pay me favors yesterday. I thought there was a couple drops. Baker Mayfield right now, he's earning his money. I was just talking to my business partner, Tom, and he's a Giants fan. A moment of silence for him. When you're paying your quarterback $40 million, he better not be the worst player on the effing team. Baker Mayfield's making $30 million now. He played like a $30 million quarterback yesterday. Is he going to play like that all year? I don't know. But yesterday he looked like a $30 million quarterback. Making the right reads, getting out of problems. I still want him to slide more, but I don't think you can mess with his competitive nature. We got to watch out now. We're gonna getting real thin at DB. Okay, McCullum went out with a concussion. He's probably going to be back. Bryce Hall, I think, broke his fibula. That's usually a month. And there was guys falling all over the place. Levante David, he was on the turf for a bit, but that was just cramps, not a big deal. But the Bucs got to start worrying about depth now, okay? You don't want to be falling at the beginning of the season. You lose two players at one position at the beginning of the season. That's tough sledding, man. Because when you get to the third and fourth position and fourth string, life gets tough. I like what I saw from Savasier Dennis. I think he's running around being aggressive. Yaya Diaby plays very aggressive. Very aggressive. A couple times I just had him walking the tackle back and pushing him on the quarterback. I love seeing stuff like that. It's been a while since I've seen that. So in all, it's Overreaction Monday, like I said. And us Buccaneer fans, we should be swole up. Our plumage should be out. We have a team that made the playoffs last year, won a playoff game, fought the Lions into the fourth quarter in a playoff game, and then you go and you beat somebody up in your house in the first game. You got to feel good about yourself. The Bucs are probably going to be feeling good. I guarantee Todd Bowles is going to temper the enthusiasm. You played a team that's probably not going to be in the playoffs. Next week in the Lions, that team's going to the playoffs, yo. There's nothing keeping the Lions from the playoffs. Nothing. It's not an injury anywhere. I don't even know if the Lions lose their quarterback and they don't make the playoffs. I think they're that well constructed and that well put together, and I think Campbell does a 100% job over there with his players. They're following him, that is for sure. So mess around and beat the Lions And we're not going to be the ones bragging. Everybody's going to be talking about the Buccaneers. But first things first, that's not going to be an easy task. We ran the ball better yesterday, but in order to be a great running team, and remember I told you this because I've been on some good running teams and I've been on some great college running teams. Great running teams don't run for minus yards. They did it too much yesterday. If you run the ball on first down and you get -4, the runs out, there's no more running. There was too many, I don't know the number, I should look. There was at least a half dozen minus-yard runs. It's too much. That's breakdowns in the offensive line. So they shouldn't be all that proud of themselves the way they ran the ball. They ran it for more, but they were ranked 32nd last year and 32nd the year before. So it's going to be quite a few steps for us to get back and just be average. I liked what I saw, but if you minus some of those minus plays, because that just can't happen. I think we have 2 good running backs now. We're in good hands. And I never think it's about the running back. I always think it's about the offensive line. And I think we have 2 capable running backs. And a pretty darn capable quarterback, that is for sure. So, Lions are next. We're going to keep on coming on Monday. Hopefully it's another victory Monday, next Monday. And, you know, I'm a realist. I'm not a pessimist, and I'm not an optimist. I'm not the rah-rah guy. If the Bucs can even fight the Lions, I think they have a great season. I really do, because the Lions are a really good football team and they're really well coached. If you're in the vicinity, we're always here on West Shore and Gandhi Dignitary Cafe if you need your kava and kratom and your white rabbit. And we have great coffee. We serve kawa coffee as well. So if you're in the area, come hang out. And if you're looking for somewhere to watch the game, we're always here on Sunday. We have a 10-foot by 6-foot screen. You can hang out with us, watch the game, and we got some former NFL players and Buccaneers and all those kind of stuff running around here, rap stars and all kind of stuff. So come and hang out. Dignitary Cafe, 4817 Southwest Shore Boulevard. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Let's celebrate. Bucs want to know. Who's out?
Breaking down the game, facts on facts. Flavor in your ear, Buccaneer goss. Straight fire, no loss. Working Tampa boss. In the trenches, feel the power toss. Strap in tight, feel the verbal sauce.